If you think you were excited about Star Wars returning, try being Mark Hamill. 4 decades after he last played the iconic pop culture hero Luke Skywalker, Hamill is back on the big screen for Star Wars, The Last Jedi, and can barely believe his own luck. "Here I am back, I never expected to be," he told News Breakfast. "I knew that if they planned a third trilogy we would be involved, there'd be all new characters set far in the future. So I couldn't believe my ears." Unlike his co-stars or director Rian Johnson, Hamill's excitement is palpable on the press junket circuit. In response to a straight first question, "Are you excited to be back?" he launches into a near 4-minute answer that covers everything from his return, to the Beatles, to working on cartoons and why he likes to spend all day in his underwear. This is a man who survived the hype the first time and is now simply happy to be invited back. "I said it's got to be all of us or none of us. It's like the reunion of a band. If Ringo doesn't come it's not the same," he said. Hamill was convinced Harrison Ford will return to the role of Han Solo, having carved out a hugely successful career since his last franchise appearance in The Return of the Jedi in 1983. But when he saw the headline, "Harrison Ford signs for Episode 7, he knew there was no going back. There would be angry villagers like in the old Frankenstein movies surrounding my house with lightsabers instead of torches." Ford was by far the biggest beneficiary of the original trilogy's success, while Carrie Fisher picked up a string of minor roles over the years before her shock death last December. Hamill's work has been far more subdued, with many over the years considering his career a textbook example of the perils of being typecast. Not that it bothers him. By his own account he lives in a modest house with his wife and dogs, and his children live nearby and visit regularly. He has kept busy mainly with voice work for cartoons, having done more than 1,000, as well as some off-Broadway theater work. "I love low profile," he said. "I give as much as I can in a 99-seat theater as I do in a movie that's going to be seen by millions." All the time since the originals were released has meant the renewed focus ahead of his proper big screen return this week. He appeared briefly at the end of The Force Awakens, has been a little overwhelming. "It's so high profile, it's a little too high profile for comfort," he said. He better get used to it, because as director Rian Johnson told News Breakfast, Luke Skywalker looms large over this film. Similar to the way that Han was very central to The Force Awakens, Luke is very central to this film, he said. For Hamill, being back on set with his old friend Carrie Fisher, back in the role as Leia, made it feel more like a homecoming. But when she died shortly after filming ended, it sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. "She was irreplaceable, so in a way it's like a loss in the family, but the entire world is sharing it with me," he said, adding he still held on to the fond memories. Like the jokes she used to tell, or the fact she had become something like a wacky auntie.